Hello, everybody, and welcome to This Week in X, presented by Crushing Comics. I am here with three of my friends and massive X-Men fans from around the world, from me, Tyler, Harry, and Fariha. And we are here today to talk about X-Men Curse of the Man-Thing, out on the 5th of May, 2021. It's the third in 3 double-length one-shots centering on the story of Man-Thing, written by Steve Orlando. And we're just going to talk about this final installment, and we're kind of going to do a little bit of a lightning round / reaction to it, since we have not covered all 3. It's going to come with spoilers for this book. It might come first with spoilers of other parts of Age of Krakoa. I don't think it's going to have spoilers about Man-Things. I don't know how much any of us know about Man-Thing, but I guess we're about to find out. So that has been your warning. For X-Men Curse of the Man-Thing, number 3, or not number 3, it's the third one. Tyler, what is your reaction / buy or skip for this?
I mean, I specifically with points, two points in the story, I would say that this is just a reflection that it is truly the reign of X, and that, even though Krakoa is not in danger here, Krakoa basically step in and save the planet. And and I was thinking, like, given the whole history of Marvel Universe, had the role been reversed, that Krakoa is being threatened, but the rest of the planet is not, I wonder if the superheroes will all go in and rescue Krakoa.
Of course they won't.
Exactly. That's my point. And the last point I kind of want to make is that Minbari Marrow does not sit well with me. That looks so weird. And buy only if you are a absolute completist. Otherwise, read it when it comes out on Marvel Universe.
Okay, Harry?
Oh, sorry, Marvel Unlimited.
So this is chapter 7, 8, and 9 of some bigger thing. So that said, this was kind of gibberish. I don't understand the main plot. Obviously, I'm not going to, because it's the middle of something. But I got the basic idea that they're evil plants. I know literally next to nothing about the Man-Thing, so I couldn't really hook into there. I just kind of enjoyed how much of the X-Men status quo this actually did. I wasn't expecting a cancel scene in the random issue of a Man-Thing mini event. And Magic's characterization was interesting. She was just more of like a hell child in this, which I haven't really feel like we've seen a ton of, or at least that direct in the books right now. That said, I didn't hate this. I think this was a totally fine middle chapter of something I don't understand. This didn't really make me care about it anymore. So I guess in that way, I don't know. Read it on Marvel Unlimited. Nothing about this really screamed like it was worth reading. And I want to like Steve Orlando. I'm just waiting for that book to get me there.
Fariha?
So I don't know anything about Man-Thing, but I know a lot about Swamp Thing. Even though who came after Man-Thing, everything about Swamp Thing can be put on Man-Thing and you still understand the story. So because of that,
not quite, but okay. We'll take your word for it.
No, you can. There is a wife element. There is I got turned into a something, and then I'm still a man. The
magic and multiversal stuff, and
the man part is kind of dead, doesn't come back. But then there is other plants and stuff, and then there is a thing.
All right.
If you know that, you kind of understand this. Is it equivalent? No, but you understand it. So based on that, I understood the story. The thing is, what really made me so annoyed that it's there was a council scene, and in that, it was effing Magneto who says, well, it doesn't affect us, so we shouldn't have to bother about it. Well, guess what, Magneto? There's still mutants out there in the world, so you should care about it. And because I really hate it when there's this things that gets inserted in there. It's no, Magneto shouldn't be saying this. It should be other characters. There's other villains in there sitting who should be saying this. Don't put these words in there. And there's nothing hero versus hero about it. It's the freaking world that you're all, it's what, remember, the legendary Star-Lord said, I'm one of the idiots in this galaxy. That's who you are, one of the idiots in this world. So you should care about it. The other thing is, though, Magic's fascination with Ghost Rider made me laugh so much. I absolutely love that because the girl grew up in that kind of scenario, and that's how her sexuality is kind of developing into fiery people.
Kiss me with your skull.
Yeah. No, it's like my magic razor only works mouth to mouth, but you need to have the fiery skull on. I mean,
some girls are into bad boys. She's into actual demons.
Well, not just demons, aliens too. Remember in New Mutants?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like because that's how she grew up in her choices kind of features into that subconsciously. I love
just
that.
like Nemo.
Yes, exactly. so I'm like, I really like that. But otherwise, I say read it on Marvel Unlimited. It's a very standard. No matter how you look at it, it's a very standard rock and socket Marvel story.
Yeah.
So I have read all. Oh, go ahead.
No, I also don't understand why 50th anniversary of Man-Thing needs to be celebrated.
Property rights or something.
Every man thing gets celebrated. I did read all three of these, and the first one with the Avengers was pretty good, actually. I was pretty excited. Orlando wrote all three. And it was it was fun. It was kind of like the Avengers weren't sure quite how to deal with this thing. Like, it's fine. You can be not afraid and not burn at its touch. There's like plenty of Avengers who aren't afraid, but then what? What then? And they kind of realize that they've kind of like come up a little bit short. But then the middle issue with Spider-Man, I mean, it's better than the current Amazing Spider-Man run, but I think a child could write a comic book that's better than the current Amazing Spider-Man run. And then we came to this issue. And what really struck me is that, Orlando mostly has been writing for DC all this time.
Yeah.
He's obviously a huge X-Men fan. Nobody who's not a huge X-Men fan picks the cast of Marrow, Mamomax, Wolf Cub, Forearm, and Shark Girl. Okay. Like, this is somebody who is in deep. And he clearly really delighted in it. And he clearly really wanted to do something specific with magic that too few people deal with it, which is like, what does it mean for her to have custody of Hell? Anybody who was a big reader of New Mutants under Claremont and then Simonson's pen cares about the idea of what it means for her to have custody of a Hell dimension limbo, because when she doesn't pay attention to it, things go wrong. There's a point in classic New Mutants where she's just sending whoever they have to get rid of through the portal, but she's also sent the TO virus for the portal, and it pretty much causes inferno. So this idea that like she really should have some opinions about that as somebody who's older now and has more agency and has more responsibility makes sense. And for that, I really appreciated it. I just don't know if anybody's written that aspect of magic. I don't know if he wrote magic incredibly well, like character voice wise, but I think to take that angle was really interesting. So I think if you love magic, if she is your jam, and especially if you really like that kind of like limbo has consequences part of magic, you should probably buy this, or at least make a point to read it, because it's one of the few things I've seen do that in this modern age of Krakoa. However, for anyone else, unless you're the world's biggest Mamomax fan, I think you can probably just wait and enjoy this on Marvel Unlimited. And I will agree with Tyler, Marrow does not look right, and any of the panels here does not. There's something really wrong with how she's being drawn.
No, she's a Minbari. She's basically a Minbari here.
A Minbari?
Babylon 5, Minbari with the head.
He does look, maybe that was the character model, but really,
I know Marrow. I did not realize this is Marrow. So
no, she looks. She's Anyway,
Peter, you just made a great case for a book that's not super enjoyable to read. I've never seen like a bigger divide between like the themes being discussed now and the experience reading the book. I don't even know if that's an insult. It's just I don't know, man.
But maybe put Steve Orlando some guest appearance as a New Mutants writer, or like something with magic.
He's done good stuff for DC. Like he's got but then he's done some stuff that's boring. Like
I like his story choices and his sensibilities, but like I just don't like his voice. It's not like there for me. I don't know what it is. Like actual voice.
Give him someone that is underdeveloped.
Yeah.
So it's easier for him to develop the voice that suits the character than butcher someone.
Well, and I want to just throw two more points into the mix there. One is that if I had to recommend one Orlando thing that's really enjoyable, I would recommend a Wonder Woman trade paperback called The Enemy of Both Sides. He had taken over Wonder Woman for slightly longer after G. Willow Wilson's run, but this was actually a filler before her run, and it's with ACO on art, who's incredible. It's got Wonder Woman, and it's got Artemis, and it's got some other Amazons who've kind of gone AWOL from the main group of Amazons, and it's really, really good. Probably my favorite Steve Orlando thing. And then, of course, he also has written a number of Midnighter stories, which a lot of people are a big fan of.
And that is where he worked with ACO first.
Oh, I see. I didn't know ACO was also a Midnighter.
And I think I was just going to say Tyler and I were going to say Midnighter, and also Midnighter and Apollo.
Oh, well, I have it actually literally right here.
So read those. Read those.
Those are good.
Yeah.
So
it's about a gay man living his life.
It's basically a gay Batman and Superman, basically.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Maybe we just need Orlando on the gay Wolverine book. Let's find that gay Wolverine from Extreme X-Men and just have Orlando write it, because we all want that. So my other point here is that something that often gets lost about Magic's origin is that Belasco is just another minor league devil to make a deal with. Mephisto's kind of the main Marvel devil, but there's many others. And she definitely went through a lot of trauma, and we should never lose that about her. But you also have to kind of explore a little bit the fact that she, by nature of being the ruler of Limbo, any deal you make with Magic is kind of also a deal with the devil. Even if she's not really Darkchild Magic really anymore, you should not take her word for things necessarily, or maybe you should. But I think that that's really interesting thing to do. And as I was reading, I kind of appreciated Orlando has clearly been thinking about this all of this time, and he's been waiting for somebody to do it, and nobody did it. And so he's like, well, I'm going to do it. And I think the only other person who's gotten this close to the truth of Magic recently for me is Leah Williams in that What If? It's Doctor Strange What If, or Magic What If, which was the best comic book of, what was it, 2018, 2019? So if you like this kind of stuff for Magic, I think also go back and read that, because I think Leah Williams gets it. See, every episode is about Leah Williams. That's all we have to say about X-Men Curse of the Man thing. If you enjoyed this go-round, we do talk about every X-Men book that's out. The ongoing titles, we give a little bit more depth. We try to do kind of a buy or skip lightning round for these add-on titles as well. And Fariha, why do we do that?
Because X-Men is better when it's read together, even if it involves Man-Thing.
A lot of reactions this episode.
On behalf of myself, Tyler, Fariha, and Harry, thank you so much for being a part of This Week in X. We hope that until we see you and get to speak to you again, that you are well.
Bye.
Bye-bye.